We deal with criminals that have changed the way they think, the way they live, and they're attempting to do things the right way. And what happens when it comes to crime, that's what we're going to talk about today. And this is what you will get on a day in Lifelines to Success. What we talk about is crime. And how many of you all would agree that crime is a culture? Somebody with a smartphone, since it's smart, look up the word culture right quick. And when you get it, raise your hand. This is the day, you're in class today, so if you don't mind, just be in class with us. So if you think about crime and how you fight, I'm glad to see my friends in the blue over there, the police, because they're our friends now, praise the Lord. So let me help paint a picture of what the criminal culture looks like, because see, a lot of people don't understand it's a culture. We try to fight crime as if it's a disease. If you fight symptoms, but not the root problem. And if you fight symptoms, I may stop sneezing, but I still have the flu. So if you think about it this way, and I'm going to use the term that we use in the criminal culture. Anybody got the definition yet? Still looking. Somebody got it. What is it, Ronald? Read it to him, please.
The totality of socially transmitted behavior, patterns, arts, beliefs, institutions, and all other products of human work and thought.
Thank you very much. Go to a crack house. And if you add a little further, I'm sure the next definition will say they have a dress, a language, all that is conducive to their lifestyle. So if you understand that concept of crime, that it's a culture and it's not a disease, then you must teach the men and women that live in that culture how to assimilate. See, we never talk about assimilation when it comes to American citizens. We figure everybody know the same thing, but we don't. Come from different places. If somebody come from Mexico and they speak Spanish, you know they weren't American because they don't speak our language. If you go to, I use the analogy of going in Walmart, and I go in Walmart, there's some people there, I used to live in Cordova, but now my address has the purpose. I used to live in Cordova, and they will go in, you see people from India. You say, how do you know they're from India? They look like they're from India. They have the dot in their head, they have the thing around them, and they speak a different language. They haven't learned how to fully assimilate. But if you go, and Steve talked yesterday about having some Hispanics in his office that are attempting to get housing through him. He says the 14-year-old daughter does most of the speaking because she's assimilated while the parents have not. So what we have to do is teach our men and women the culture that we're attempting to assimilate into. So if you think about the criminal culture, there's a dope man. Okay. And we're going to use our dope man to say he sells crack. Okay. Or heroin, something hard, a hard drug. Okay. Now the dope man, he never goes to Goldsmiths or Macy's. Gets his clothes out of the trunk of somebody's car. We call him booster. Now the booster, after she or he have gotten that money real quick, they go see our friend, the weed man. He sells the marijuana. After you leave the weed man, see, he has a drug of choice, and it's generally powder, so he goes to see his powder man. Now I'm using some generalization, but it's teaching you the culture. So then the powder man has to serve the robber, because robbers generally don't rob unless they're already high. That's how they get their nerves up. So if you understand that you can't help a robber stop robbing, if you understand he sometimes needs some superpower and uses a little powder, you can talk to him about that. So now if the robber goes and gets high, he doesn't then go to the movies to watch movies. He doesn't buy CDs out of used to be cats. He gets his CDs from the bootleggers. Some of you also, I know, but don't tell nobody. DVDs. So you thought the bootlegger used to sell liquor. We got that. The bootlegger doesn't sell liquor no more. Because see, now you go to the candy lady house. Yeah, the candy lady. And in the candy lady house, you'll find weed papers, and you'll find some kind of weed, and you'll find some liquor on a Sunday where you can't get it from the liquor store. But it's the candy lady house, because see, if the police pull up, they say, hey, I'm going to the candy lady house. But if you've never been in the candy lady house, you don't know. Have you ever seen a candy lady spread? And they got the lemon heads, and they got all the good stuff, but under the table. And then there's a candy lady, but there's also on the corner of every neighborhood in Fraser, you have this corner store. Now, the corner store by itself would be okay. The problem is they take food stamps for cigarettes. They take food stamps for beer. They take food stamps for everything but food, because they don't sell much food in there. Even let you get gas if you got the right one. Now, when you understand that, it all goes back, because who's standing at the corner store?
The dope man.
The cycle just continues to perpetuate itself. So how do you then get in this system and stop it? So what we'll do is we'll take a robber, kill the chain, and we'll teach this robber whose sole purpose is to rob to get rich, and teach him how to cut grass. Free. To get in our program, you have to volunteer for 2 weeks. That's free. For the last time I checked, if you don't get paid, it's free. And we'll convince them that it's better to do this than to do all that stuff. Then after we teach them to come and do it free and they buy in, then we'll bring them to the exchange club. Now why do you bring them to the exchange club? Because now they're exposed to people they never would have been exposed to in the first place. You teach them to assimilate. Challenge my men and women to watch CNN at night, to learn how the people talk and how people dress. I told my men and women, I teach them, I attempt to teach them how to show that they're smart. And smart people, let me give you a trick. If you want to be smart, get the newspaper or watch the news in the morning. Notice the headlines. Get around a group of people, ask them if they saw the news. Hopefully they'll say no, some may say yes. Then you just repeat the headline and say, what do you think about that? And shut up. You gotta say nothing else. They'll begin to talk and they'll give you their opinions and you can say, yeah, okay, great, that's awesome. And why do you feel that way? Oh, and people love to talk. And if you get them talking, they'll go back to the office and, man, I met this guy at the store and he was so smart. What did he talk about? He saw the news and he told me what he saw. What did he tell you? See, they don't understand you're not even giving them feedback. Let me help you out a little bit more, because see, I have to learn how to deal with people, because the work that I have is not easy, y'all. I promise you it's not, but it's so rewarding. So I heard somebody say the greater the risk, the greater the reward. So I've taken a large leap of faith, and we have a whole lot of risk involved. So you can imagine the amount of reward that I must feel, that we must feel every day. Teach my men and women to be careful when they're at work, because at work, people are slick. Now, I know we got a few Caucasian brethren in the room, but that's okay. We're in Lifeline. Remember, you're in my classroom, so since you visited my class, what's two things I can't stand? A liar and a sick nigga. Thank you very much. Can't stand those two things. Can't stand them. So if you lie to me, you'll steal from me. If you want to sit in my office and try to be slick with me, I can't trust you. What is trust, class? It's giving permission to hurt you. Yeah. Trust is simply giving someone the ability and permission to hurt you. Trust my folks. It means you get hurt sometimes. But after you get hurt, you have to remember where they come from. And when you remember where they come from, you understand that they may not have done it because they wanted to, but that's the only recourse they knew. That's the only plan of action, because that's when they ran back to their comfort zone. I'm attempting to get them here, but until I can break this cycle completely and help them forget this lifestyle, they can never fully embrace exchange or the change that we're attempting to show them. So when they have failures, they're just opportunities to teach them better.
All right.
The reason I wanted to show you this today is because we got it backwards, y'all. People from the White House to the crack house. Nobody knows how to break into this cycle, because they figure if you give somebody some money, they'll stop. It's not about money. You don't believe me? Watch my folk on a volunteer day. They'll outwork anybody in the world for free.
Take your turn. Take your turn.
It's all right. It's all right.
It's been a rough couple of weeks, y'all. It's okay. It's okay. I lost a few folk along the way. It's okay too. Our men that have on the green and women. Gotta earn that. Now I'm teaching folk that all they want to do is take and get it easy. Teach them how to earn something. 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, almost 60 years old. Now they want to earn something for a change.